Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unraveling a massive and honestly kind of baffling corporate mystery. We're looking at decades of data, articles, and research from author Jon Antonucci's work, exploring one very specific, very frustrating question: why, after more than 60 years of formal training, countless seminars, and literally billions of dollars spent, is workplace leadership still so incredibly broken?
It's a provocative question, right? I mean, think about it. We've known about the concept of servant leadership, this idea that a leader should prioritize the growth and well-being of their team above themselves, for literally thousands of years. Yet somehow a huge portion of the global workforce is just completely miserable. So what went wrong? How did a beautiful, transformative philosophy become just another hollow corporate buzzword? Well, we're going to investigate this exact paradox today, and I promise you, the answer is going to completely change how you look at every leadership training you ever attend.
Okay, let's dive into this. The golden rule of servant leadership is actually ancient wisdom. It's not some new corporate fad dreamed up by consultants in the 1970s. Aristotle was talking about this all the way back in 340 BC. We also see it in the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, who said, "The greatest among you will be a servant," and in Buddhist traditions regarding compassionate leadership. The core idea has always been that leadership serving the best interests of its followers is absolutely the most positively impactful way to lead. It's ancient, it's tested, and it's pure.
But then, we hit this jarring reality: 25%. That is the shocking statistic of people who currently claim to be working for the absolute worst boss they have ever had in their entire lives. To put that into perspective, that means 1 in 4 people logging into work today is dealing with a literal leadership nightmare. This completely cements the failure of modern leadership implementation. Human resources departments are swamped with complaints, turnover is sky high, and people are just exhausted. So, if the ancient philosophy is so incredibly good, why is the modern reality so bad?
Section 1. When ROI ruins everything.
Well, the original, pure intention of serving others was quietly hijacked by a corporate obsession with return on investment. Let's imagine something real quick. Let's say a friend asks you to help them move. You spend all day lifting heavy boxes, sweating it out, and your reward is a slice of pizza and a cold beer. It's tough work, sure, but it's built on authentic friendship, care, and a genuine desire to serve. Now, what if that exact same friend offered to pay you $500 for the day? Suddenly, it's not a favor anymore, is it? It's a transaction. You're an employee. The jokes stop, the fun kind of vanishes, and the focus shifts entirely to the task and the payout. This relatable little metaphor perfectly illustrates exactly what happened to servant leadership.
You see, when these leadership programs were sold to businesses, those businesses naturally asked, okay, what's the return on our investment? And just like that, the narrative shifted. Instead of serving employees simply because it's the right thing to do, the message became, hey, if you serve your team, they'll give you higher retention, fewer sick days, and way more productivity. When businesses focus solely on what they can extract from their employees, they completely lose the heart of genuine service. The ROI became the sole focus, and that authentic, human-to-human service was completely lost.
Section 2. Enter servant-minded leadership.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the paradigm shift it represents. The author shares this brilliant anecdote about a friend named Vivian who moved from Spain to the US. She would translate Spanish directly into English, saying things like, "I will check the mail until 5 o'clock," which actually meant she wouldn't check it until 5. Because the word choice was slightly unusual, it forced people to literally pause and really think about her meaning. Adding the simple word minded to servant leadership does the exact same thing. It illuminates the heart of leadership. It moves us away from those transactional ROI outputs and forces us to actively be mindful of exactly why we lead.
So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding the pillars of this new mindset. First, it requires an authentic love for others, really seeing your team as inherently valuable humans, not just cogs in a machine. Second, it's about facilitating the best for the team, not extracting the most from them. And third, it requires profound humility, fully embracing the mantra, "I don't know what I don't know." Make no mistake, this is not some quick fix HR program or a fun weekend seminar. It's an ongoing daily choice of humility and presence.
Section 3. Humility and proper nouns.
How do servant-minded leaders fundamentally change the way they interact? Well, think back to elementary school grammar for a second. A noun is a general person, place, or thing. A proper noun is a specific name of a unique entity. Servant-minded leaders treat their team members as proper nouns. This means actively listening and knowing your team as unique, specific individuals, not just generic assets or numbers on a corporate payroll. It means remembering that their dog just had puppies or sending a card when their parent is sick. It's about replacing that awful "I ain't nothing but a number" feeling with genuine, specific human dignity. Treating people as proper nouns also means checking our own egos at the door. These subtle, toxic phrases you're seeing here are born from a stubborn, naysayer mentality. Saying things like, "I just have more experience, so do it this way," is a leader demanding they always have to be right. But as Chapter 23 of the source material highlights, focusing on saying yes across languages like si, ja, we, seem, it challenges us to shift our mindset entirely toward finding the yes. The minute a leader shuts down collaboration just to prove they're right is the minute they cease to effectively lead. I absolutely love this quote. In the heart of the servant-minded leader, my way or the highway goes to the byway. The author shares a fantastic story about his wife getting into a car accident. His initial, experienced reaction was to just buy a new car, but his wife? She wanted to fix her broken truck herself. Instead of being a naysayer, he chose to find the yes. He stepped back, fostered that possibility, and completely empowered her to bring her idea to life. She and her father spent weekends fixing it, saving tens of thousands of dollars, and gaining incredible pride and ownership in the process. Letting people take ownership rather than forcing your supposedly right way is vastly more empowering.
Section 4. Taking meaningful action.
So how do we ground this whole philosophy into reality? Step 1 is finding a mentor. And I don't just mean a generic coach, I mean a true mentor. Think of it like this. Coaches are like classroom teachers managing a group, but a mentor is a tutor giving you that crucial one-on-one perspective. To find one, first, identify someone you genuinely respect. Second, ensure they've actually walked the path and achieved what you want to achieve. And third, take the intimidating step of asking them to invest in you. You really need that vital third-party perspective to keep yourself accountable.
Next, you need goals. But please, not those vague, I'll do better goals. You need the TNT method for goal setting. Your goals must be time-oriented, meaning they have a strict deadline. They must be narrow, meaning they're highly specific and targeted. And they must be temperate, meaning challenging but realistic. For example, don't just say, "I'm going to talk to all 2,000 employees." Say, "I will have one meaningful one-on-one conversation with a floor staff member every single week." This turns grand leadership intentions into measurable daily habits.
Because ultimately, commitments don't change lives. Actions do. There's this great old story in the source text about 3 frogs sitting on a log. One decides to jump off. How many frogs are left? The answer is 3. Why? Because deciding to jump is not the same as actually jumping. Deciding to be a leader isn't enough. It's the physical act, the actual daily execution of empathy, humility, and service that truly changes a workplace culture.
Which leaves us with this final, powerful question. What choice will you make the next time you step into the room? Will you look at your team as mere assets to squeeze an ROI from? Or will you see them as proper nouns, completely worthy of authentic love and empowerment? The framework of servant-minded leadership is in your hands now. The next step, the actual jump off that log, is entirely up to you. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see how you transform your teams.